Hi everyone, welcome back for another whiskey review. Today I'm looking to review an old favorite of mine, and when I say old, this is something I've been enjoying for a very long time, but just never quite got around to reviewing it for one very particular reason. There hasn't been much of it available in New Zealand, and it was out of stock for a very long time, but luckily there is some more available currently. I say currently cautiously because I don't know how much of it is available, but it is currently available. So today I'm reviewing the Edradour 10-year-old. Now, I haven't been to the distillery. Somehow it didn't quite fit into my plans when I went into Scotland in 2018. And I genuinely wanted to go and see whiskey being made at this place because I had heard of amazing stories how traditional, how small they are. You know, on the website on Edradour, they say they make in a year what some of the big whiskey distilleries, say in Speyside, make in a week. So they're 52 times smaller in some terms than some of the really big distilleries. So really small operation. And I guess that's why it hasn't been available much, because I guess more and more people are getting educated on how good the Edradour releases are, and they're starting to run out a bit. But the 10-year-old is a core range, you could say entry level, the most basic offering they have, and comes in this really classic looking tube, and tells a little bit of the story about Edradour and all of the good stuff that's happening through the distillery. Now, for entry level whiskey, well, they call it entry level because they're core range whiskies, and I wanted to talk a little bit about pricing of Scotch whiskey, especially in New Zealand. You know, a lot of the really basic, that globally known 10, 12-year-old whiskies are starting to head towards the 75, well above 80, maybe closer to $85 mark. And while the Edradour has been out of stock for some time, it has jumped up in price now that it's come back, and now it's sitting just above the $100 mark. So it's kind of $15 to $20 above your, I don't want to say names, really big Highland and Speyside distilleries from Scotland. So you're paying about $10, $15 more for a whiskey from a distillery that's hypothetically 52 times smaller. So I guess it's okay to pay that bit of premium for a little bit of something that's a bit special, a little bit niche, but especially when it's this good. Now, I'm not a stranger to this particular whiskey because I've drunk many bottles over the years and many different releases, and they are fantastic. But I wanted to bring up the price thing in particular because something like this is really worth the extra $10, $15, and we'll decipher what's on the nose and palate just shortly. One thing I wanted to point out is look at the dark color, that gorgeous dark color, and bottled at 40%. So some good sherry whiskey is gone on there. And the whole time since I poured the whiskey into my Denver Lily, I can start to smell some of the spices already. All right, well, let's start nosing it. Oh, just beautiful. Really beautiful. I mean, there's not a lot of really good sherried drams around the $100 marks. There are a few. Tamdhu 12-year-old comes to mind, perhaps, but there's not really a lot around the $100 mark which has such a good amount of sherry influence. Just sweet caramel with just the real gentle spice. Just a true Christmas cake feeling on the nose. Really beautiful. I mean, even though it's 40%, there's a lot happening in nose. And when it comes to the nose, there's obviously no alcohol vapor as such. It is at 40%, so it's not punchy on the nose. But the sweeter characters and the overall whiskey experience is very pleasant on the nose. So good. I mean, in fact, last night, I put a big dent in this whiskey while watching some Netflix. It kind of went south very quickly. All right, well, let's have a sip. Mm. Sweeter characters with that gentle spice, same as the nose, rolling in the palate. The one thing I found with Edradour 10 in particular, because at 40%, is really good, but it takes a couple of sips for some of the sweeter notes on the palate to come forward. Whereas I've just taken a sip now and more of the spicy notes are coming forward. But as time goes and you spend a little bit more time with the whiskey and have your sort of couple or third sip, more of the sweeter raisiny stuff starts to come out, which is just fantastic. Really good. I just can't get over how good the whiskey is for in around $100 compared to what you're getting offered for some of the really big distilleries at 12-year-old or 10-year-old. There it is. Some of that raisiny sweetness is starting to unlock. And there's just a warming, really nice warming character on the palate. You know, if you like your sherry drams and not interested to spend the big bucks, this is an amazing whiskey. Or if you are dabbling one too often with the entry level sort of $80, $85 Kiwi drams, you know, the 10, 12-year-olds, big name distillery stuff, definitely worth dabbling and trying some of this while it's available, while a little bit of it is available here, especially in New Zealand. Really, really good. And if you dare adventure, you can get into some more of this kind of stuff. And I'll talk a little bit about this down the line. It'd be quite good to start reviewing some of these Edradour straight from the cask sherry bombs. But for now, that's all I've got to say about Edradour 10. If you are liking the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the very near future for another whiskey review. See you later. Bye-bye.